Reuse. Tema drugih crnogorskih dana arhitekture. Kada čujemo reuse ili ponovna upotreba, asocijacije su različite. Od reciklaže materijala, urbane reciklaže, adaptivnog reuza, projekata brownfielda i sl. Želja je da ovaj podcast dođe do vas kako bismo zajedno uložili napor da sljedeći dani arhitekture budu na još višem nivou. Ove godine razgovarali smo sa predavačicama i predavačima na temu reuse. Poslušajte kako oni gledaju na to, kao i koje su teme njima važne u koncipiranju prostora i čime se bave u svojim praksama. Dobrodošli. Karolina Backman i Henry Glogau. GXN, Kopenhagen, Danska. 3XN je arhitektonski studij iz Kopenhagena, koji je 2007. osniva GXN, nezavisan dizajnerski istraživački studio koji se bavi strategijama održivosti unutar građevinarstva. Behavioralni dizajn koji propagiraju daje odgovor na pitanja šta ljudi rade, zašto to rade i kako to promijeniti. Najčešći rezultat behavioralnog dizajna je promjena percepcije korisnika određenog prostora. GXN strategije spajaju fizički prostor, psihološke dobrobiti i društveno okruženje. Karolina je specijalistkinja za cirkularni dizajn, koliko god to nama strano zvučalo, dok Henry radi na različitim konceptima, bilo da je riječ o ponovnoj upotrebi zagađene vode ili uopšte obezbeđivanju boljih uslova života za stanovnike ugroženih područja. Ako po nečemu crnogorski dani arhitekture budu globalno prepoznati, vjerujem da će to biti ovakvi mladi i talentovani ljudi koje smo imali prilike ugostiti i slušati. Uživajte.
Hello Karolina, hello Henry, welcome to Podkast, welcome to Montenegro. Your lectures on second days of architecture in Podgorica. You are both from same studio GXN that is from 2007. Since 2007, it is a part of the 3XN architects in Copenhagen, and maybe you would like to share some experience about collaboration in between and possibly some outside projects for GXN.
Yeah, we have a very exciting collaboration with 3XN. We are an independent research company. We do about 40% of our time on research projects, but then 60% of our time as sustainability consultants on 3XN projects, but also on independent projects. But I guess the uniqueness of us all being under one roof, as we see it, is that we have a very close day-to-day communication with the architects of 3XN, which enables us to really bring the research that we are looking into new ideas in the architectural projects.
I'm coming from, my architectural background is probably most the architectural competitions of small-scale projects and stuff like that. I'm really interested about that kind of process of that large two studios in one. When you, what does it look like actually on some practice level, on everyday level?
Yeah, I think we're really lucky to have that whole research into practice. And I think with the GXN team, which is around 20 employees, we come from very different backgrounds, from anthropologists, behavioral specialists, engineers, and architects. And I think from having the opportunity to do that research and really get into some of the nitty-gritties from very different perspectives is quite a unique attribute to the company. And I think that research, we're lucky then to have that direct connection with 3XN to test this out, to actually see how it can be implemented in different ways.
That is like all the time during the whole process from the start. It is really important to begin at the moment, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, some of these research projects that we're doing will go for many years, so it might be a little bit of a bit of time before we actually see some of this coming in. But I think we're lucky that we always try and push this prototyping at small scale, and then gradually we find ways of implementing at a
larger scale. Okay. You're a part of projects funded by European Commission Horizon 2020, circular construction in regenerative cities. I'm not sure that.
No, it's a long acronym.
Yes. Can you share the experience?
Yeah, so Circuit is a 4-year-long EU-funded research project. It's a collaboration between 4 cities, so Copenhagen, London, Vantaa, Helsinki, and Hamburg. And the whole idea of Circuit is to look at 3 different scales of scaling up circular construction in cities. So it's looking at how do we encourage more transformation and reuse of existing buildings through repurposing, and then how do we encourage more reuse and upcycling of materials and building components, and then lastly, how do we actually encourage designing for future adaptability and reuse of buildings.
That is really interesting because like 60,000 of new homes will be built in just in Copenhagen for next 10 years or so, and you are talking on your lecture something about that concrete. Concrete is a material, and I'm not sure. Maybe I would like to to ask you about that difference between recycling and upcycling by your terms.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one because there's a lot of different interpretations of how it's been used from, as mentioned in the lecture, first and foremost, we're always trying to direct reuse where possible. But sometimes when we talk about recycling, it can actually be in a slightly different context. A lot of the time it's actually downcycled. It's actually not going into the same loop system. We see that with glass, it's going down into road fill. Whereas, if we talk about recycling, actually glass going back into the loop chain into glass again. Whereas upcycling is something that we've been trying to push a lot, where we try and add value to that material, which would potentially be downcycled. Seeing and using a design, ingenuity to try and find clever ways in which we can bring it back into a higher possible value than it was intended to be.
Okay, I think it's really important also to say that Henry Glogau is a Young Talent Award from Royal Danish Academy, and also you are a graduate in 2020. That's you're really young and you're really successful. Also, 3 years row Red Dot winner, Lexus, I think. I'm not sure, and I forgot something. For me, it is really important because it gives us a little different perspective from Montenegrin kind of angle. Montenegro is from 1991 an ecological state by its constitution, but I'm not sure that is really working in practice. Right now, do you think that this kind of approach and talk about sustainability and the circle of sustainability is like a privilege of wealthy countries? What do you think, Karolina?
Well, I actually think that in a lot of ways, the need for sustainability is a flaw of wealthy countries, because we have kind of become very ignorant to the fact that we do have limited resources and we waste a lot of resources, whilst really the kind of the circular future that we're talking about have already existed and do already exist in a lot of countries where resources are more scarce. So it's more out of necessity. So I think there's a great opportunity to learn a lot from how we can actually make better use of resources from other nations, and hopefully it would allow them to kind of leapfrog over the wasteful process that a lot of wealthy nations have gone through.
Well, Henry had that opportunity because you were in Chile for a month or so, and I would like you to share some experience and something about that, like a concept, main concept of your work when we are talking about that kind of not so privileged countries.
Yeah, I can give a really quick sort of summary of what that was about. I've spent time down in South America and also in places like Greenland and Alaska, and working within communities which many don't have access to basic human, basic resources like fresh water, electricity, and sanitation. And working with local NGOs to spend time in the community to understand those challenges, but also some of the opportunities of designing in these different extreme climate. And I think a lot of the first few trips that we went to, it's about observing and it's about seeing what is there in these climates. And what I really started to pick up was when you do have so little resources, that's when I think the ingenuity really starts. Being able to actually see how you can create a piece of architecture out of the materials that you find readily available in and around your community. So I was actually, I think, quite blown away by seeing that kind of patchwork of architecture that can come together and create some clever solutions. From my personal projects, that was looking again at how we can create a fresh water source through really low-tech and basic supply of harnessing the abundance of solar energy that they had in South America, but also being by a coastline, you have an abundance of seawater. So bringing those together in these kind of solar desalination designs. But these were very much experimentation, and it's something that we are also doing at GXN, and why I think I was really aligned to try and work at a company like GXN, because we are thinking in this circular way. We are working with communities and understanding those challenges, but we don't just jump to the big architecture. We test, we trial, we make mistakes, and I think that's something why I continue to love working there.
Well, what do you think, both of you? What the government or state should do like a first step to trigger that circle of sustainability?
I can say Circuit is coming out with a report in December with a lot of good suggestions of what cities can do to promote it. But a lot of it comes back to supporting test projects and pilots and investing in them to show the market that we can do this. There is a profit in doing this and a value in doing this. So I think governments need to really try to be the support to shift the market into a more circular state.
I think we've been lucky also to be working with some developers that have actually, are taking this seriously and are wanting to, put the money where their mouth is and try and support these smaller initiatives. So I think step by step, we're managing to show case studies that you can do this and it is possible to do it within budget and time. But I think we need to continue to ramp up this and produce more of these smaller examples.
For Montenegrin architects, it seems to be like a science fiction movie, actually like far away future. But I like what you said, the panel that is like simplified as much as possible. That is like an approach that we all should try to do. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Enjoying your stay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.